Alright, this is the final video of the 87 Ford caged coupe that I just built. Really nice car. If you look at some of the pictures and the video maker that I made of the movie or whatever. A couple things I wanted to say. The wheel wells aren't installed in either wheel well. I do have the wheel wells if you want them. They'll go right in. They're clean. Didn't put them in so people can see up in there that there was a Rust-Oleum or whatever in there. The water bottle reservoir that comes through this hole isn't installed, but the wiring's there, and I have an unbroken one that you can put in if you want. Motor runs good. It's 10 degrees timing. No oil leaks. I didn't see any radiator leaks, and the transmission doesn't leak. One problem that there is, when you drive it a little bit, the H-pipe, you can't see it down here, but the H-pipe is really close to the crossmember, and I didn't want to put a little ding or dent in it, and I didn't want to cut the crossmember, so it does hit it once in a while. I wouldn't be alarmed. It's not a big deal. Clutch is adjusted. It has an adjustable clutch cable on it. You can see like some of the dash lights are working. You know, I had to completely customize this whole thing and put it together. So, you know, all the lights work. Dome light, you know, the lights on the dash. The radio works. Has all 6 speakers working in it. The windows go up and down. This car was a manual window car, but now it's a power window car. The one thing that isn't hooked up is the power mirror switch. In the lumbar system, this car didn't have a lumbar or power mirror switch, but I did hook up the power mirror switch to it. A couple small things like where I had some of the trim, I didn't quite get blue. I can get you a touch-up can, not a big deal, to where you can, those are the only 2 spots that I actually missed, and I don't know why I did. It's over there on this side too. You can barely see them except when the door's all the way open. But it kind of makes me mad that I actually missed that. The trunk release works, the fuel release works, fuel door that is. Outside of that, I'm going to give you a real quick cold start, and we're going to start the car. I'm going to show you real quick that it is cold and it's not warm. You know, I'm going to put my hand on the header. You see that? It's not warm at all. It hasn't been fired whatsoever today yet. So I'm going to go ahead and push the clutch in. You can't start it without the clutch. Neutral safety switch works. See, it starts right up and runs. There ain't no noise whatsoever anywhere. Brand new clutch band. You've seen that. You've seen the videos, or the pictures. No smoke at all back here. Give it a little gas. Sounds good. Go ahead. Go ahead. Alright. Alright, kill it. You see the one that had a check engine light on there? I did want to mention this. The EGR is deleted in this car, and that will throw a CEL light. I did go through this car right here on the test connector, and I did a KOEO and a KOER if you're familiar with the code checks, and this will throw a code. Now there is a, I guess you want to call it a blocker. You can put in there, you can buy from Summit and just about any Mustang restoration place. It actually tricks the computer into thinking that the EGR is still there. I deleted the EGR because the EGR isn't really needed when the smog is deleted. So you can plug it in and the CEL light will go off. The only other codes that were thrown on this were smog related, canister vac related, which is all smog system, and that's the only codes that this car actually threw. As you can tell, before I translocated the ACT here to the intake pipe, and I explained it in my description if you listened or read the description. This is an Explorer intake and did not have an external ACT boss in the intake, so I actually put it in a tube. In 94, 95 and up Mustangs, the ACT is actually in the intake tube, so it's not something uncommon. Outside of that, there's just a lot of mods and a lot of customization I did in this car. Car runs good, should be a great daily driver car. The hood latches actually comes down and latches and clips. A lot of people with these cowl hoods have a problem latching these things because they don't adjust them right. So they end up drilling a hole in the damn hood and making hood pins, which is kind of ridiculous because all you got to do is adjust the hood and you won't have a problem. This hood should have no problem clipping down and not coming up. There's no cracks in the glass anywhere. There was tint put in these quarter windows. I was going to take it off, but I figured it wasn't that bad. Looked kind of neat. Everything's pretty clean. Looks pretty mean from the rear. That's about it. I'm about to have it aligned so they can be straight and won't have to worry about it. Another thing that actually is missing, these little $30 clips, the little Cobra R clips that go in these wheels. When I had them powder coated, the guy took them out and cracked them. So I've been actually looking for another set, but I didn't want to pay for racing $200 for a set of freaking center caps, because that's what they want at Summit. So wet sand and buff. The car will need wet sand and buffed. I will show you the small spots that I didn't like. I got a very small little run right here. I got a little run. Where the hell are you? Right here. Just a little baby one. On the front clip, way underneath, where it dripped down, right here, just a little small run. And on the driver's side, had a little small run right here. But these things will cut right out in the wet sand and buff when you decide to buff it. Or wet sand it. And it has a wobble here in the roof. And I painted over that because I didn't want to have to like rig it. You know, I like the car to be original. If that's the way it's going to be, and that's the way it's going to be. But outside of that, you know, I'm pointing out a lot of bad things. And I'm going to tell you what, I put a lot of time and a lot of money getting this car together. And considering what it did look like when it got here, and considering what it looks like now, what it sounds like now, and how it runs, this car is worth every bit of the money you got. So, I mean, all it needs is a new owner. I build these cars 2 or 3 times a year. You know, I'm going to actually take you out here and show you the donor car that I actually used, so you can tell that I wasn't actually like bullcrapping you here. There's an 89 right here. I had to stuff it over here in the corner. But this is the GT that I used a lot of parts off of, as far as like the engine harnesses. The engine came out of this car. It was a good running engine. And the reason why it was taken out was because the guy got hit in the rear and he actually tried to hide it on the quarter panels here. And you can tell where it had been bent in the back, and he replaced the rear bumper. So this is the donor car. I got a 90 GT over here that's been wrecked pretty severely in the front passenger. That's going to be my next 90 coupe build if I ever find one. So it'll be shortly. Anyways, I figured I'd give you a nice little video of the Mustang. You know, I like to take some time to, you know, so people have an idea of what they're buying. You know, so they're not confused. You know, there's nothing, you know, that they're surprised about. I think you'll be happy with it. You know, once you get it wet sand and buffed, come out nice and clean, look more like a mirror looking finish. Might be a few bugs or something that might need worked out. I'm not the one to take them and beat them up and drive them after I put them together. So, bid accordingly. This car's worth every bit of the penny that you do want to spend on it, and it has a lot of mods. And I would suggest, you know, maybe if you want to make it like a weekend thing or like a recreational vehicle, throw a little 150 shot of nitrous on it, go have a little bit of fun. So, anyway, outside of that, thanks for looking at my auction and reading my long description and my long videos. I apologize, but I like to be as thorough as possible when I build these cars, so, you know, people will actually be confident when they build and buy a car. Anyways, thanks a lot.